Hello, hello. Welcome back to Live Vibe Coding with Will Melton. I am Will Melton. This is a Channel RVA production. If you're not familiar with Channel RVA, check out channelrva.com. It's a new media hub for independent media creators here in the Richmond region, Central Virginia. But we are going to be creating something for Channel RVA today in this live vibe coding session. We're going to do something fun. It's going to be a new game show and podcast. We're going to use AI to make it happen. It is going to be an AI game show. It's going to be called the AI Game Show Podcast. And this is going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before. So I'm really excited about this. If you're tuning in for the very first time, you can follow along on my journey to make 52 apps in 2026 at studio.willmelton.com. I will share my screen so that you can follow along with what I'm seeing. And if you're tuning in here, please feel free to leave some comments. Tell me what's going on. I will be watching the thread here and making sure that if you've got questions, I can answer those. And if you have something that you want to see or you have an idea for me, share it. So I have a new audio stream today. I'll share with you guys. I've been working on uh, Channel RVA, and we'll take you over there in just a minute. But I've got this pretty cool thing that I'm a little obsessed with, and I've got to thank one of the members of my team at Exponent 21 for that. Kaylee Crandall had this idea to bring murals in Richmond to people on our platform. So I'll take you over there in just a minute. But my 52 app build challenge here in 2026. I've got some apps to add to this today, so we'll do that when I have a little bit of downtime in our coding. I'm going to go for around an hour today. I might go for an hour and a half or so. Depends on how far we get. I've done a little bit of pre-work ahead of today's session, so I'm going to be skipping ahead on a little bit of the planning work, but I will fill you in on all those details. But you can become a subscriber at studio.willmelton.com, and you can get paid a referral fee for sending people our way. And I've had a few people who've said to me, I don't know if I would build live. And, I don't know. I don't think that there's much I have to lose here. And, my team is sometimes like, oh, what are you doing spending all this time building? And, the reality is I got a message from somebody yesterday who said, I got this idea I want to talk to you about. Can you help me build this thing? And we talked, and it was a legitimate opportunity to help someone build a business that they're excited about. And it is a legitimate opportunity for my business to grow with these folks. And so I say all that to mean if you're out there creating and you're wondering whether it makes sense to try to do it in a live format like this, it certainly has been good for me. And while I don't have a ton of people who are in the comments on these threads, I do have people who tell me out in real life, hey, I love what you're building. I see what you're building. And that might be because they're seeing this whenever they're popping onto LinkedIn and they're not necessarily watching live. But in any event, I do appreciate you watching. If you're tuning in today or ever, I would love to have you as a subscriber here. But I want to talk now about Channel RVA. And if you missed my live stream on Monday, you will maybe not know about this yet, but definitely go back to Monday's live stream, and you can find that at studio.willmelton.com, and you can also find it on Channel RVA. But what you are looking at right here is a stream of local murals from around Richmond that you can get directions to, or that you can add to a virtual, or not a virtual, but a live walking tour or driving tour around the city to be able to visit visitable art, public art. This does a lot. So I'll talk you through a couple of things here. We have the support the artist QR code here and link. So if you're watching this on your desktop or your phone, we have the ability to switch between different audio. So we have our streaming stations that I'm listening to lo-fi beats right now, and we have some classical music, and then local radio stations here in Richmond and local podcasts. So we have a lot going on here, and I will take you through just a little bit more. You can see local headlines instead of information about the artists and the murals as a way to get some information. There are live news alerts that come through this if there is ever a weather alert or an amber alert or breaking news that will appear as an alert on the screen. And we can hide the information so we can just enjoy the art. We've got the time and the local forecast or local weather, and we can click on that to go into the weather over on channel RVA. Now, a couple of things that you can expect to see in the future here. We're going to create a subscription program so that our business community can support these artists. So we are going to pay the artists from the funds that we collect from the subscriptions on this application. And what we're going to do is this is going to be a smart TV app that you can install in your office or in your home. We're going to make this free for everybody at home, but for office workers, office users, we're going to have a subscription for that so that we can share in all things Richmond and make sure that our local artists are recognized for their contributions. So just a few things that you can see there. You can turn on and off some of these things so that you can really enjoy the artwork. But I'll take you over to the forecast and just encourage you to sign up for our newsletter. So if you just go over to the homepage, you can get our daily newsletter, and you can see a lot of what is happening across the Richmond ecosystem. So there's a lot to this. I'll let you spend your own time on it. And if you're not in the Richmond region, maybe this doesn't interest you too much. But this is a vibe coded media platform that leverages a ton of AI to be able to bring this volume of content to you. But it also leverages the, excuse me, it also leverages the community. So we have a rich community of creators, and we're pulling their content into this platform so that you can enjoy all that is happening across the Richmond ecosystem. You can find our content here. So we have the live vibe coding with Will Melton here. America's Healthiest City is also our content. Mike King Biz is one of our partners, and the agency, which we will have a 4th episode out very soon. This is a lot of fun to produce. This is funny. The last episode was a ton of fun, and we enjoy making these things for you and for ourselves. It's a lot of fun to share in the creative process. And if you wonder why I'm doing this, I am doing this because I am creative, if you couldn't tell. But I believe the future is creative, and my intent with our business is to open up a world of creativity for creators. So we have a studio. We are creating space for creators on channel RVA. And we're doing a lot in the community this year. So definitely get over here and add your email address to channelrva.com. I'm going to be watching the subscriber count on this so that you guys hold you to it here. I'm going to drop a link to this in the messages so that you can get that. And hey, Michael, thank you for joining me once again. I do appreciate your steady follow. All right, so lots going on here. I'm not going to spend too much time over here because we're going to build some stuff today. So I am going to just take a drink of water here. Okay, once again, this is my vibe coding with Will Melton. We're going to be building a game show today. It's an AI game show and podcast. And you might be wondering what the heck that is. We're going to tell you here in just a minute. So I need to find my Claude AI game show concepts. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to build an interactive game that is asynchronous. So we're going to record it and release it, and our audience is going to vote and participate in the contest that this game presents, and we are going to tally those votes to see who is the winner of the show. we're going to do several of these shows, and we're going to have a finale that is bringing the winners of each of the shows together. So we'll talk a little bit about today, what the game show, how the dynamics of this work. But I am going to just take the pre-work that I've done on this, which consists of quite a bit of information on how the front end and the back end are going to work. And I'm going to talk you through how all this stuff is designed to work in just a minute. But I'm going to get started coding because uh, if I don't do that and I talk for too long, we're not going to get done in the time frame that I've allotted here. So, okay, so I have the original. I got the prompt for Lovable here, but one of the things that I have a habit of doing is taking the original prompt that I shared in the initial query so that Lovable has my voice and my intent clearly defined there. Now, there's some more things that we've defined about this since I've shared my initial intent, but I have every intention of shaping what we're building. And I've got some frustrating language in here I can see. Apologize for that. Um, all right. Sometimes you wonder why computers don't work the way that they were designed to work, and it can be really frustrating. Been enjoying our Claude pilot at Exponent 21, but Claude is not without its flaws. Let me talk for a second. Here we go. I would like you to review this plan and review it against what we have already built inside of Channel RVA from a interactive components perspective. Um, this takes it to a whole new level, and I think I want to create a whole new section in the admin area for this game show because it is both a it's going to have areas where we set up each of the shows and kind of dictate who the players are and invite them into it, and we're going to need to have a place where our host is controlling things, and we're going to need to capture all of the audio that comes through the system in our database um, for production purposes. So I want to make sure that what we're building and the plan that we're going to roll out is the plan that will work with what we've built already, specifically with regard to the interactive features in our video content. I haven't fully tested that yet, so there's some work to be done there. But in any event, what I would like to do now is go ahead and review the plan, update the plan, and then put that into the product roadmap so that we have it chronicled there before executing. So I just gave a pretty long prompt here, and that's inclusive of one, my original voice prompt that I did in the car earlier today, my build plan that took me about 30 minutes or so to put together. Let's see, 10:33 was whenever I prompted this. When I was done with the plan was 10:59. So less than 30 minutes, we had a plan in place. Everything after that is in service to my production here in this live stream. And basically, what that is doing is just getting my content ready so that you guys all know what I'm building today. So I am going to just pop over to LinkedIn and make sure that everything is rolling smooth over there. Just popped on and saw a great photo of Connie Hom. If you're in the Richmond area, Connie is a great mentor of mine. She's the owner and founder of Buckingham Greenery, a really awesome business here in Richmond. But if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat. I'm going to be continuing to build here. I've got a start. Let's see, all devices play. Okay. So basically, the way that this game works, let me keep answering these questions. I guess we'll do the hybrid approach and scoring and winner determination. All right. All right. So the way that this game works is you have four people in a room in a podcast studio who are sitting in front of a computer. And I'm going to take you over here. You've seen perhaps the image of our game if you looked at our cover image today. And so the way that this works is essentially the players would be looking at their screen. They would have these different voices that they could select that come from 11 Labs. And they have a queue where, well, we'll start with the prompt because that's probably the more important thing. So they're all in the room together, so they can hear each other, see each other, but their game is kind of playing out on the screen. And what happens is they get a prompt. In this case, the prompt is you've just been elected mayor of a town where everything is made of cheese, and somebody will be with the roll of a dice, be the very first player. They will get to write an initial prompt, kind of like whose line is it anywhere? And this in this example, my first act as mayor will be to declare Brie a controlled substance. And what happens is the system, as soon as that gets pushed out, the system is going to convert that text to voice using the voice that was selected by that player. They will have the opportunity to pre-select voices ahead of the game, so they'll get access to the dashboard and understand how it works. Um, and they will be able to pre-select the voices so that they can kind of have in their mind the game that they want to play. But what will happen is the players will submit to the queue. The queue will begin playing the audio of each of the different voices in order that they get submitted. And so there's going to be two main objectives for the players. One is to get your comment into the feed in the order that it belongs in. That's going to be really hard when you've got four people vying for the next word, right? Not the last word, but the next word. And so you want the next word so that it makes sense. And you have the ability, if perhaps your submission got in and it got out of order, you can pull it back if you want to. Or if as you're listening to the current audio, you decide that you want to change it, you can pull it back and change it, but you run the risk of somebody else's moving up the queue. So it changes the game dynamics. And part of the point is you want to be in the queue as much as possible because our audience members are going to be able to vote with a thumbs up on every single comment that gets submitted. One vote per comment, 10 votes per round. So at the very end of a round, you can give as many upvotes for as many comments as you want across the four players. And at the end of the round, you get to award 10 points to who you think did the best job. And then that goes on for 3 rounds. Now, we might introduce some dynamic gameplay where it's this is one game that we play and we play other games as well and kind of make it a little bit more interesting. But for right now, we're building just this first game out, and we are how are we doing over here? This is done, so everything is road mapped. What I'm doing, just so you know, is I am building the details of this game into the roadmap first because I want to have the ability to track the progress of this as we build. And if you haven't followed along with me, you might not know that I have a whole video on how to create a sprint queue for your product roadmap, why creating a product roadmap makes sense. It helps you track things and so many more. It helps you collaborate. But this is an automatically assembled sprint. It's just choosing the 4 items that are here, but it would be judicious at choosing which items are the best next things to build. And I can copy this sprint and I can paste this into Lovable. And this is going to provide it with all kinds of instructions about how to treat this prompt. So it's going to basically say build everything. Do not stop. Don't ask any questions. Just go, because we've put all the details in there. And then once everything is done, you're going to move it to mark it in review. I think that might be up there. Sprint queue in review. Okay, that's fine. That I don't need to do that. So the instructions are fine on this. It's doing what it's supposed to do, but it's going to prompt Lovable to kind of go and build. Now, I let a few people in on a funny little thing, and you might have seen it on International Women's Day. I was coding, and I noticed that they took away their queue functionality to limit the amount of prompts people can push through. And it didn't bother me at all because I was able to push through 4 prompt packs at one time. And you can see it going to work over here, building all this stuff up. So there's a couple of things that we're building in here. We're building an inside scoop for channel RVA. That was something that I programmed into the queue yesterday, but it's building that first. And what that is doing is it's essentially giving people who create an account insider access. So accounts are free. You don't have to pay anything to have access to the platform. But what it does is it gives you access to all kinds of features that are designed for you. So my RVA is the place where all of your individual things live. And if you were hanging out with me on Monday, I don't even know that we had this yet. But if we did, we didn't have all of what we have here. So we have too much to cover in the time that we've got today, I think. I think we're going to be building pretty quickly and testing here soon. But I did want to just share with you guys that this is what people get access to. And the inside scoop is going to be things like um, exclusive access to private events that we host. It's going to be news and behind the scenes on stuff that's coming to Channel RVA. It's going to be advance notice of really anything that we're working on that anybody who's not a member, or rather a MyRVA subscriber, so you can subscribe just with an email address if you want to. Um, there's a lot of work I have to do here, so I'm going to prompt this really quickly since I'm looking at this. I want to elevate the subscribe to channel RVA to be more in line with the design of the MyRVA area of the website. I want to also make sure that we have marked live vibe coding as a channel RVA original, because right now we only have America's Healthiest City and the agency. And then I want to separate out all of the sort of Richmond community content into a separate box beyond shows. So the shows are referencing just our originals, and then everything else is independent media. So this is kind of a design change. So I'm not putting this in the product roadmap. I don't need to track that. I'll be able to put eyes on it and know whether it's what I want when I see it. It's really these bigger builds that I kind of keep track of in here. And there's a lot of reasons for it. So one of the reasons that I do this is, in addition to automated coding, I'm also able to keep a record of everything we've done. And that provides a really strong context for AI. So if I say, hey, I want to put together a list of features that we have, you know, how do we show that off really easily? And we'll use the product roadmap as the source of information for that. So it's going to be a lot better than going through the code necessarily, because it doesn't know what your kind of intentional and your intents are, I guess, whenever it's just looking at the code. And so there's a lot of reasons for it. But while we are here, uh, just sliding into the art here, and I'll show you something that I've always working on since you guys have been around. Monday, I built a. I gotta get into it here. I built a news desk, and I have this really great editor's desk that I built into this. And basically, the way that this works, just to give you a sense for what I'm working on here, this is basically where I control all the things that go into our daily digest. There is some element of automation to this, but I'm still coming through here and defining what I think is going to be, you know, things that people in Richmond really care about. Now, I have national news coming into this. I have local Virginia news coming into this. I have a lot of different sources that are feeding in, and that will help me to kind of decide what is perhaps worthy of including. So, our newswire. What happens with these is these get queued up into our story queue, and then we can process those over there. But we also have recently published, and we can put this in. So right now I'm controlling what's going to go in tomorrow's digest by just flagging things. Uh, I got to get some images in these articles before we're ready to go. Um, on the editor's desk, I would like the most recent 2 or 3 episodes of our original content to show up on top before we get to partner content on what to watch. All right, so tomorrow's Sunday, so that's actually the weekly roundup. So I'm gonna put some more stuff in here. Um, I'm getting a refresh over here because we're building. I got to go back and look and see what happened. We got stuck on one. Okay. All right. Well, let me go ahead and get the updated sprint. All right. So we'll get that going, and I'll queue up this prompt so that it can actually work on a game show. So the core platform is going to be the interface for the host, the interface for the game players. I gotta take a look at this and see if all this stuff is in here. Okay, so what it did is it put limited instructions in these, but it has a more detailed plan over here. And let's see. Plan.md. No, that's something else. I don't know. It said it was in here someplace, but I don't see it. Let me read this again. I saw it someplace, but all right. Well, we'll see if it builds what I want. I can't find that plan file that it said it made, but maybe somebody else saw it. All right. Let's go back into the editor's desk and see if it fixed what I was looking for. What to watch. Still not showing the first few episodes from my content. Let's see. I think some of the stuff that I wanted to feature here is a little bit old. We'll put one of these guys in there. That's kind of interesting. I think if anybody wanted to know what channel RVA was, that's a good option. What to listen to. I can't remember if I featured this article or not, but we could take a look at my newsletter to find out. So let me go do that. If you are tuning in for the very first time, this is Live Vibe Coding with Will Melton. I'm Will Melton. This is a channel RVA production, so we are creating original content right here in Richmond, Virginia, the creative capital of America. All right, newsletters, Gmail. So if you have not yet done so, I encourage you to go and subscribe to Channel RVA for our daily newsletter. We're going over right now the newsletter editing process that I'm going through as we wait for some building to happen. But I'm going to go take a look at some past newsletters to see if I have already put some of this stuff out there before. So okay. I'm sorry, I'm having to scroll through a lot of different test emails because I was working to make all this stuff right. And I do think that you're going to like this newsletter. Close out of a couple of things here and I will show you yesterday's. So we've got the weather. We have some suggestions for what to order. We have editor's desk note. We have our stories. We've got some sponsored content, some more stories, your horoscope, if you put that in there, a book, and featured art that you can go find in the city. So that is it. All right, so I think I'm good with what we were picking there. Let me go see what is going on with our build. Yeah, this is a pretty big build. I'm going to be burning through some credits today. But this is an exciting game. I'm going to be building something that nobody's ever built before, and I am hopeful that you will subscribe to Channel RVA so you can find out when we release this show. I'm calling it the AI Game Show Podcast right now. It is going to be in video format, but you will also be able to listen. And the concept is that you will be able to participate in choosing who wins the game with asynchronous voting. As you watch the video playback of the game, we will have edited all of that. You will be choosing through your votes who is the winner. And we're going to have this up on our website for, I don't know, we'll say a couple of weeks or so, capturing some votes. And once the votes window is closed, we will know who our winner is from that episode. We'll have several episodes, and we will have a finale where we bring together the winners of each episode for a final round. So we will likely have 5 episodes per season to make that work. And I'm really excited to bring this to you. I've been trying to think of the format for our content, and I know that we want it to be longer format and not all like short scroll content. We also wanted it to be interactive. We want to be able to do things that nobody has ever done before because we can and we want to. We want to compete. We want to build a product that is unlike anything else that people get excited about and want to come back to. We will monetize this through advertising. We will eventually have some paid subscriptions that we will invite people to join. But for right now, I'm most interested in just getting folks to see what it is that we're building, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be interested in coming around and being a part of this as well. All right, I gotta figure out why my book is not selecting. Let me see if I can pick art. Let me refresh the screen here. All right. Studio.willmelton.com. You can follow my journey to build 52 apps in 2026. Another thing that I'm doing just because I can, and I'm learning a lot as I go. So you can see all of the things that I'm building over here. I do have a new game to put into this, and we're going to load that up here maybe a little later today before tomorrow's session. But we did a trade show game for Weidmuller USA, and I'm super excited about that. We got to test that out at an event with VCU last week, and that's one more for the count here. I will have probably up to 20 once I add everything in that I've been working on. And let me tell you, I've been working on a lot. You guys see me code for maybe 5 hours a week. I'm probably coding for 40 hours a week, maybe. I couldn't tell you. All right, where are we at? Okay, so it's a big build here. Like I said, I'm going to burn through some credits, I think. But what I do like about providing concise instructions is that I'm not going to get in a situation where we're prompting it one step at a time and we find that we're burning a bunch of credits because we're not given the full context and we're having to kind of iterate and tell it what to fix constantly. That's going to be probably how most people start using Lovable or any IDE that's an integrated developer environment. And but it's a great way to start. It's a great way to learn what you don't know. I've been building things, websites specifically for a decade, so I have a good sense around what project management looks like to build these things, and I know what goes into effectively communicating to an outside audience everything that matters. And so those are the areas that I excel in. And as of the last couple of years, I have really been leaning into solutions that help companies or organizations streamline processes and connect with customers in new and different ways. And so that's been my motivation in all of this. And it has really fueled a lot of my activity and all the things that I build with you guys are opportunities for me to think in new and different ways. And so I was talking to someone yesterday in a meeting, real in live person meeting. I do have those. And I was unveiling a plan for an application that I will also be building. Excuse me, that is going to truly shape the future of my business in ways that will allow me to grow by orders of magnitude more than I have been able to date. Um, there's a lot happening in the space of AI right now between agents and MCPs, and some of the stuff is stuff that is really not even I'm not even familiar with it, but there's so much that's happening around um, the future of coding, the future of development, and we're going to see a lot of automation happening into the future. But right now, uh, being able to build complex tools is at our fingertips today. And every company and nonprofit organization, governmental organization should be thinking about building tools to service their many needs and to reduce friction and to cut time out of arduous processes that are not necessarily beneficial to humans' time investment. They're just busy work. So that's my kind of take on what we're seeing into the future. And I have personally been able to think about kind of a complex problem about how the future of websites are going to work. And so I'll take you through that here as I watch us get some code done. Let me see what happened. Let me get into my roadmap here. So, in any event, websites are changing. You don't build a website now and leave it online for 3 years and then come back and build it again. They are living entities. You are creating new content constantly. You're optimizing old content constantly. You are adding new details and endpoints and features and creating new ways to connect to customers on a continuous basis. And that's a fundamental shift in how websites serve businesses and different organizations. And it's also going to take a shift in how we deliver service to companies. So we've got to build that initial box, but then we have to think forward thinking about how do we design this to be better? How do we add features that make life better for the people who are our constituents? How do we build businesses that make money? And I have had the opportunity to build a number of things for a number of people, and I continue to see people come in my way to build things, and I'm grateful for those opportunities. So please keep coming my way while I'm still building for other people. I'm eventually going to transition to just building things for myself, but right now we're still in the business of building stuff. So I am, I guess where I'm at with this is let me read this prompt really quickly and keep us going. Keep going. I'm building an application that helps me to effectively communicate both the change that's happening in the way that service delivery works for website management and support and ideation and feature development. And I'm also working to accelerate my pace of development, so how fast I can get things done. But I'm going a step further, and we are literally going to be telling businesses through systems that we're building whether their business is viable or not. We're going to get the inputs that we need to determine that, and we're going to truly help our clients see what the risk profile is for starting their business. We're going to help them see what the marketplace looks like for interest in that product. Um, and we're going to be able to give confidence to our clients before they ever sign on the dotted line. Now we're going to have to go through a discovery to make that happen, and so there's a whole process that is under development right now to be able to do it. I'm super excited about it because I'm going to make it. Um, I don't want to say effortless, but we'll say fun. I want to make it fun for businesses to go through this process and to identify their opportunities and build the things and pour their heart and soul into their next ventures and their creative endeavors. So it's another project that I'll be running kind of on the sidelines. It's got a lot of proprietary stuff that I have decided to not share because the value of what I'm building, I have pegged it about $50 million in a potential upside to me over the next few years. And while I share a lot on these live vibe coding sessions, there's a few things that I do hold back. There is such a thing as intellectual property, and we have to guard that if we want to maintain our moat around our business. And we want to keep doing what we're doing. We want to keep creating the space to do new and fun and creative things. And that takes running a profitable business. And so, but I share with you all because you come to me with your ideas and you tell me you want to build something. And I'm still in that business, so would love to work with you if you're interested. Now, if you're joining for the first time, we have about 13 minutes left in the promised hour. We might run a little bit longer, but we are building a game show app, a game show podcast, which kind of sounds weird, but it's going to be a video podcast, and we are going to be building interactive features into the video. So our viewing audience will be able to vote on what they are seeing on their screen with laughy emojis and other reactions. And we are anticipating this show to be funny. And I don't know why I paused there. I'm thinking like we want people to be laughing so hard that their ribs hurt. And I think that we're going to be able to do it. We're going to make this a bit chaotic. But if you can imagine shows like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Perhaps this is a bit of the modern take on it. But I'll pop over here to Claude and just show you a quick preview of what this concept looks like. We're not going to reveal what the playback queue is for our participants. They're not going to be able to read anything on the audio front. They're only going to be able to hear it. Now, here's the kicker. I don't know if I said this earlier, but they're not allowed to say anything. If they say anything, they'll lose points. They can laugh and they can make noises, but they can't say anything. They can't use any words. All the words that are spoken on this show will be coming out of 11 Labs, because 11 Labs has a great text to voice product. They have a great product all around that does a lot of really interesting things, and I've been leveraging that a lot. My sound rewrite app is all about being able to finish your book by listening to your manuscript, and that's something that's really helped me to get to the finish line on one book, and I'm done writing a second one, and I'm starting on 3 more, which is kind of crazy to think of. But, you know, at the end of the day, part of the reason I'm doing this is because I want people to know that it's time to build. It's time to be creative, and you have what it takes to do that now. I'm doing this live in front of you so you can see what the opportunity is for you. And it's your ideas and your creativity. And I promise you, if you build with something like Lovable or Replit or, um, Claude Code or anything else, whatever you're building with, you will get hooked. You will find out that you are more creative than you thought. And I hear people say that all the time. I heard somebody say that just yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and start testing what we're building here. We're going to create an episode. I'm just going to call it we'll call it Pilot, Season 1, Episode 1, and set up and record. So we've got our players. So we will. There's a problem. One of the things that I notice sometimes is when you put your cursor in these boxes, it saves every single. I have a problem where when typing into the boxes in the episode host dashboard, it's saving the boxes each keystroke, and that's slowing down the entire interface. That's not acceptable. We need to have a save button someplace and just keep it unsaved. If you don't click save, it doesn't save. I don't know. They could have a longer context window or something like that, but I've just had too many problems with that feature, so I'll let that get fixed. All right, so this says all three roadmaps have been moved to in review, and looks like we might have what we need. All right, so we've got our voice bank. Um, I want to add a preview sound for all of the voice bank voices. And the voice bank add voice is not great because it forces you to choose a voice ID. I feel like we could do a little bit better of a job at browsing the voices that are available over there through this application. It's too cumbersome to have to go into 11 Labs to get that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep clicking around here. Okay, cool. Analytics. Okay. Can we have a we don't seem to have a place inside of this app where we can kind of control the different shows that belong to this platform, like America's Healthiest City, The Agency, or Live Vibe Coding. So I feel like we need to do something in the interface on the admin panel where we can actually control and manage the shows that are ours. Because right now, one of the things that I can notice is that there's no way to tie these episodes to the actual content itself that will need to be inside of our shows. I also don't really have a way to control our shows in any way, or like we're ingesting them and we have them defined inside of our settings. But let me see. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think we need to figure out a way to better manage our shows, and also I need to figure out how we're going to tie episodes of the game to video that we upload to the content to the shows. Um, right now, I think that maybe we just need a show manager where we can dictate, or maybe we use the feed hub. Hmm. So I think that the AI game show podcast is going to be the first content that we actually host ourselves instead of feeding through YouTube, because it's not going to make any sense for this to be on YouTube. I mean, we might have it up there, but its interactive features will be useless there. So I think this will host the video on here. So we obviously need to take all that, and make a plan out of it. So please do that for me, and let's make sure that that gets into the roadmap for clarity. All right, so I got stuck on this one because I realize that there's a gap in sort of the planning here where we need to be able to make sure that these episodes are able to store our audio. And I also need to be able to see, let me see what this looks like. The player interface looks like. Okay, so it doesn't look like the players have the ability to set their interface up yet. It doesn't appear that we have an interface where the players have the ability to set up their dashboard and pick their voices and do the pre-work that we had indicated we wanted to do. So part of the reason why I add stuff to the product roadmap instead of having it build it right away is because I want to keep track of it, but also because some of these things are going to be bigger builds, and I don't want to build them quite yet. I want to have the ability to choose when I go ahead and do that. This other change that I want to make is something that is, I think, a little bit more important, because I'm not going to have the videos able to be shared yet. We still have to play the game, but I am starting to think about where the gaps are as I start to play with what has been built, and that's going to be something that if you are building, you'll have that same experience where you get to a place and you're like, didn't think this all the way through, and that's okay. That's part of the process. I don't think that I ever have it all figured out, and there's always new stuff that we could be doing. So, all right, I'll go ahead and tee this up for building, because this is putting in the roadmap what I'd asked for, and I'll let that fix that problem. It's going to take a minute to add things to the queue. And what's possible is might be in changes needed.
Die kostenlose Streaming-App für Charts, Dance, Hip-Hop und Throwbacks. Immer neue Playlisten, immer live gestreamt. Mit I Love Radio und vielen weiteren Non-Stop-Music-Channels. I love music. This is I love chill hop.
Didn't make it into the roadmap that time, so my instructions were ignored. No good. No good. All right, so I'm going to just pop over to LinkedIn, because I know that sometimes I don't see the comments over there. Hello, Nicole Jones. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right. Thanks for your comment, Nicole. I couldn't see that. I got to keep LinkedIn open here on this other side. Innovative products like projects like this blend entertainment with technology. Excited to see how it evolves. German Rodriguez, thank you for your comment as well. How I foresee audience engagement evolving with this approach. So I think what this is doing is taking a little bit of what we've seen from the past and kind of mixing it together. You know, I don't know that there are really any original ideas. So, whose line is it anyway? Is kind of the improv aspect of this, where we don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a little chaotic. We want that to happen. And then the other one is, if you recall, and I cannot remember these shows, the names of them, but there were some shows, some game shows on early 2000s, maybe 2000s, throughout that decade, when we had shows that you could dial in and actually vote in real time. Now, this is not going to be real time vote. This is going to be asynchronous, which is an evolution that we have based on the ability to stream and to build these tools into the video interface. Um, and I believe that, when you look around, everything's local. The best stuff is local. And so I personally think that if we're creating stuff for locals, then we are creating things that people are going to love. And if we are working to connect people to what they already love, if they love their city, and we're giving them opportunities to learn more about their city, to know more about the important things that are happening, and to enrich their experience, I think that is it's worth pursuing, and I think it's something that we should embrace. We can give viewers, this experience, and so why would we not? And so that's my thinking behind it. And yeah, I don't know. I think let me just clear this real quick and start over. I think we need to get all those in there. So yeah, why not is one thing, and then the other one is I think that part of the motivation for Channel RVA is social media has been designed to get us to doom scroll. I just saw a post earlier today that talked about Elon Musk revealing the algorithm for Grok and X and how they reward different activities. So a like is worth half a point, a comment's worth 10 points, a comment that gets a response is 16 points, and then if it gets back and forth, it goes to like 100 points or something like that. I can't remember. But it rewards conflict and division. And I think that we can create media that people really want to have and to interact with and create fun for them in a way that isn't exploiting that basal instinct to react to negative information. And my wife is a neuroscientist by training, and her published research reveals this. There's now a bias toward negative social information. We seek it out for our safety, and that bias is being short circuited to tap into our brains and turn us into captive audiences that can be sold advertising against. And I think that there's a different way. I really do. And maybe that's a naive sort of perspective, but I'm willing to try. And yeah, if you're curious about this, go to channelrva.com and put in your email address. You'll get our newsletter. You'll get updates on the things that we're building. And I think you're going to like it. I have gotten positive feedback from the people that we've brought into this interface. This is for Richmonders, so if you're from out of town, there's going to be some sort of unfamiliar things. But for people who live in Richmond, new and seasoned, it's going to be just what you'd like. And we're already there. We're already producing the news. We're already going through the motions to create new and innovative things that allow people to interact with digital content, but also to connect to their community. And so, RVA art, which is part of Channel RVA, is one of those things. You can play back this recording to see a little bit more about this. I talk about it in the beginning of the show. But let's see where we're at today, because I was playing with this. I do go live 3 days a week. So today is Saturday. I go live at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I go live tomorrow Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'm going to pick this show back up then and build out anything that I haven't finished today. But I know that we have St. Patty's Day celebrations going on around the city. So I'm going to get out there and say hi to some folks and try to make the day a little fun for myself. And so I don't know that I'm going to do too much more building today. But this is not something that I'm in a hurry to build. But if you're watching and you're in Richmond and you're interested in playing this game, if you're interested in being a cast member for this show, we are recruiting. I'm going to need 4 people per episode, and I don't know who's going to host it yet, but I have some people in mind. If you have somebody in mind, please leave a comment. I'm happy to field those requests, and I'm also happy to have you plug a name in the comments of anybody who you think might be a good cast member or host. This is going to be a ton of fun, and I think it's going to have a national audience. I think it's going to be so revolutionary that people are going to pay close attention because it's going to shift the landscape for media. It's got to be great. It's got to be great. We're going to have to build it so that it's great, but I think we can. All right, so we have built our show manager admin crud. So where's that content? Shows. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. Getting some stuff going on here. Where are my own shows? The agency. This is partner. I should be able to filter this. I should be able to filter the shows between partner owned, licensed, and syndicated. Right now, I'm trying to find. Okay. You can see I don't clean up my prompts. AI figures it out. I'm fine with that. So I'm going to keep building here just a little bit, just to fix up what it said it just built. Lincoln Game showed episodes, it shows articles. Let me go take a look at this. All right, well, take a look at one more thing down here in settings. Feed hub. Let me see. I feel like there should be a way to select a show to pair a feed with. Also, I will point out that the feed editor is too long for the modal, so I cannot see the top and the bottom. If it gets any longer, I won't be able to see anything. I should be able to scroll or something. All right. Trying to clean up a couple of things here just from a logical perspective. I want to I've kind of had this problem where I've noticed that my shows are getting mixed together. We're not populating into the site the way that they should. From a business perspective, our original content should be first, We're putting money into this platform to go live with this. We're putting money into our original content. It's not inexpensive to do that. So we are putting our ads and our content first, and we'll sell more ads later. But right now we're getting our stuff out there. Um, but I also just need to have the ability to control things, because what we hope to do is, for people who are already creating in the Richmond market, we would welcome you to reach out and talk about a collaboration with us, because we would love to uh, create some exclusive content for channel RVA. I'm just scrolling through to see what we've got going on here, making sure everything's looking good. All right. Oh, I see it there. Okay. A selectable chip. Oh, that's too funny. Okay. All right. So as long as it's named the same, it's going to tie in. That's one way to do it. Okay. I can change that later, but for now, I'll just check our roadmap and see where things are. It looks like everything's in review. I've got a lot of stuff in review on this project because I have not been checking things off, but I've been pretty happy with how things have been going. So I might clear a lot of this stuff here soon. I've really been I've had minimal prompting to get to the happy place with this. I've had a couple of sticky places that I've had to work through, but in any event, I think I'm going to call it here today. I've gotten everything built from a core perspective. We need to do some testing, and testing is a cumbersome process. It takes a little bit of time and energy, and yeah, I think I'll feel a little bit fresher tomorrow. I've been going since early today already. So thank you for joining me. If, again, take us out here, please go subscribe at studio.willmelton.com to get your referral code and be paid to connect people to us. And also check out channelrva.com to be able to subscribe and get our daily newsletter and see all that there is to do in Richmond, connect you more to your city each and every day, each and every week. That's a wrap. This was a Channel RVA production, live vibe coding with Will Melton. Love doing this with you guys. Thanks for joining me once again. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Signing out.